Many people do not understand the position of the United States in this conflict between Russia and Ukraine. For the US, Ukraine was not supposed to win this war. The sanctions were supposed to do the work. Basically, they were supposed to put all these sanctions, convince the entire world to turn against Russia. From there, Russia was just going to crumble by itself because of the sanctions and then come to the negotiating table, leave the Donbass for the Ukrainian, and then the United States was going to come in there and then take the minerals. Unfortunately, that did not work. So, why is it that Donald Trump called Putin? Number one, the United States needs to stop this conflict as soon as possible because the US does not have the weapons to give to Ukraine. Now, keep in mind that Israel also needs help. So, the United States did not expect that this conflict was going to go this way. So, they didn't prepare for it in terms of weapons. Russia was way ahead of time. So, for the US, before people start questioning what's really going on and before it becomes an embarrassment, they need to stop this war as soon as possible. And because they cannot win Russia, that is why they had to call Vladimir Putin. Number two, the major plan for the United States is to focus on China. China is way ahead in term of technology. They're taking over the world. And in fact, they are already number one economy in the world in terms of purchasing power. So the United States needs to focus immediately on China. Number three, because they were not expecting that Russia was going to continue this war even with the sanctions, they also did not anticipate that Russia was going to unite with China. That right there is a major strategic loss for the West as a whole. Just imagine yourself, China and Russia, the biggest country on earth with a whole lot of energy to feed China with, and China building the technologies of the world. Those two countries coming together. What do you think is going to happen? So the US needs to stop that as soon as possible. Now, what is it that the United States is planning to do now to come back as a major power? Number one, as we already know, Ukraine is not winning this war. And since the US doesn't really care about Ukraine, they don't care about the EU, they need to make concessions to Vladimir Putin. They are going to try to remove the sanctions so that they can appease Russia, try to give them most of what they want so that they can get the minerals. The reason why it is Trump who's doing it, because Plan A already failed under Biden, and Biden was too embarrassed to come back and say, look, we failed. They needed someone like Trump because Trump can be blamed, he doesn't care. And he can be attacked, and it doesn't really affect him. Everything they tried against him does not work. If the plan B fails, then they will say, oh, well, it is Trump's fault, right? If it succeeds, and the EU and the rest of the world say, oh, well, the United States under Trump just gave everything to Putin, they're going to blame Trump again. Oh, well, Trump was a puppet of Putin. That's why he gave everything to Putin. But the United States will still benefit with the fact that they would have arranged things with Russia and got a deal for the minerals. The second thing they must do is to divide Russia and China. It's very important. That is why you heard Trump start saying that we need to bring Russia back to the G8. They need Russia back on the side of the West. Russians are Europeans. They have proven that they're powerful and very strong. and they are a major obstacle for the United States. Like I say, forget about the EU. Nobody's thinking about them. So they need Russia back on their side because dividing Russia from China will give the United States the opportunity to handle China one on one without Russia. The third thing they must do is to now focus immediately on China. Just look at what is going on in the world. If you want to see a futuristic country, go to China. They are far ahead in terms of technology. And the worst thing for the United States is that the technology that China is building is not only better, but also cheaper. Just think about it. What just happened to the stock market when they sold the application that they call DeepSeek? Remember what just happened? The stock market lost trillions of dollars because a cheaper AI application from China is way much better than applications from the United States like ChatGPT that they would have sold for billions of dollars. That is also why you see that the new 1% that is running the United States today is the tech industry. Yes, the bankers who used to run the United States, they are retiring. They have accepted defeat. They know that they are no longer relevant in this world of technology. The new oligarch of the United States, the new 1%, is now the tech industry. That's why you see Musk going there to try to reduce the amount of money that the federal government is using. They need all the money they can get. Now, I want you to prove me that I am wrong.